Good evening, Tibetians all over the world. My name is Emmanuel Mteniswa. I'm glad once again to have this opportunity to come live in this YouTube channel. Today is the 20th of I'm coming all live from the southern tip of Africa, South Africa, in Johannesburg. This evening, allow me to invite you to our main source of information, which is the Billion Coin blog. As we cross over to the Billion blog, allow me once again to log into the Kringle Cashback office, where we're going to access these specific topics. Just allow me to go through. I want to go through into my KCBO. As we know that we are always reliant to the admin blog as broadcasters. I'm happy to join thousands of broadcasters in the TPC community as a way of spreading messages of abundance. The Billion Coin today had some send button meetings. I'll start with this one. The November 20th French, Hindi, and Bengal and Cambodian send button meetings as a way of refreshing or reminding our newest members who have recently joined us. It is always advisable for all of us, new and old members, to partake in the send button meetings on a weekly basis. Like today, it was a send button meeting for the French, the Hindi, the Bengal, and the Cambodian versions. Of course, the French one is conducted by Mr. Derek Mbe from Cameroon, and the Hindi version is under the control of Mr. C.H. Pritam Kumar, and the Bengali one is under the supervision of Mr. Mizanue Ranman, as well as the Cambodian one is under the supervision of Mr. Scott Thorne. It is always quite advisable that it's only those members with send button meetings to join on these send button meetings so that they can collect cookies for free. If you're a basic member, you qualify to get only 1 million cookies. And if you are one of the broadcasters, of course, you qualify to accumulate yourself 1 million cookies, which is, of course, a very substantive way of empowerment. Since I can read from one of the items here, TPC leader Scott Thorne will be hosting the Send Button live broadcast on Tuesday, November the 20th of 2018 at 7 a.m. PDT. If you do not have a Send Button on, you are not allowed into the meeting. For those of you who do have a Send Button, do not share this link with anyone else. The link will be available at 6:45 a.m. PDT on Tuesday, November the 20th, inside your Kringle Cashback office. The meeting starts promptly at 7 a.m. PDT. Show up and collect up to 1 million cookies. According to our South African time, meetings here, we attend them at 1600 hours on a weekly basis. And the other thing that I would love to remind my colleagues concerns reference in currencies. We are no longer referring or attacking TPC into any kind of fiat currency anymore. Instead, our coins are now measured in terms of grains of gold. As you can see, this is our newest poster. 2,000 grains a day to 1,000 grains of gold a day, 400 grains a day. We are now talking in terms of grains of gold. We are measured in grains of gold. We are no longer using any fiat currency references. This is according to the public announcement, which was published some weeks ago by our admin. Since you know that when one joins, we are no longer talking in terms of $10, but we are talking in terms of 4 grains of gold, or I can say 4 grains of Bitcoin for one to be able to join and register into the Billion Coin and become a member. And if one intends to buy 13 kringles worth of, 13 kringles, he has to pay for 40 grains of gold. So these are the equivalency in terms of gold measurement. So we need to train ourselves and adjust ourselves to the new measurements. The billion coin is measured in terms of grains of gold. And that doesn't mean to say that we are backed by gold. We are not pegged to gold. We are using gold as a form of measurement into our new economy of the billion coin. Since you can also have this slide here, which says the true value of TPC is based on the number of living men and living women that join us in agreement as members. We simply measure that value in gold. So this is one of the articles which I wanted to cover as a way of reminding. Let us also peruse some certain articles and see what we have. This one is for the November 19th. It was yesterday. Or every Mondays, we normally have Mr. Randy Wilson. This is the main event on the St. Pattern meetings. Mr. Randy Wilson is conducting the English version, which is the main one. Every Monday, let us also partake, let us attend as a way of being of getting mentored, because when you attend St. Pattern meetings, it is not an issue of collecting cookies only. It's an issue of being taught, because this is a panel of experienced leaders like Mr. Randy, like Mr. Scott, Mr. Derek Mbeer, Mr. Lawrence Maluleke from South Africa. These are the leaders who have got that experience of which we need to learn from them. And the other issue, let me just share with you. This evening, I don't have a specific topic. I'm just sharing, going through the whole TPC blog, checking, sharing certain recent topics. The Bengali TPC community is creating momentum. This is also one of the best videos of which one can always watch at your own home comfort. And the other thing here is it's time for broadcasters and the TPC community to ground themselves to gold, as I have been actually referring you to the new terms. I won't deliver the whole message, but I'll just touch on some, maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs so that we can all understand. It says we don't want any confusion about our private status in the whole world. In the world today, public regulators are looking for any excuse to rob our private currency and tie us down, because they could care less about our mission to end poverty globally. Understanding one thing, government is force. Force is the nature of government, and they rule over the public. Yet governments are bound by law. It is my opinion that as a whole, humanity lacks the maturity to live without government today. So hear me loud and clear. This is what the admin is saying to us. So hear me loud and clear. Admin is not anti-government. Of course, I will never support the abuse of power that continues to comes out of a government. Even today, in modern times, private societies such as ours have lawfully existed for thousands of years, to my knowledge. Private simply means outside the domain of government. Private equals self-regulated. What we are doing is lawful, and it is important that every member behave in a lawful manner when they are talking about TPC. Research has shown that we are grounded when we compare the value of our private currency to the value of gold, but can be problematic when we compare our value to any fiat or money regulated by any government. This is the official call to all broadcasters and every member of TPC to stop comparing our coins to fiat. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are called upon. We need to read this whole block. I touched about it yesterday, but for now, let me just go as far as the second paragraph only, because my intention is not to repeat the whole item, but it is to touch on certain topics. Paragraph 2 goes on to say, as we stated we would in the first public notice, we have removed the references to any fiat from our websites. Clearly, our admin fee is for grains of gold. Our admin fee is for grains of gold, meaning it is replacing the reference in our $10 fiat. We are now talking $10 now, we are talking 4 grains of gold. We encourage and reward transactions that are done at increments of 40 grains of gold. The government did not make gold. Mother Earth has provided us this gold, and she won't stop us from measuring the value of our coins against the value of gold. You see, we don't want to upset any government regulators by our words, and that is why each and every member needs to embrace the reference to gold and stop referencing fiat. As you can see in the poster below, we have marked cash flow achievements in grains of gold, and you should know that a third-party calculator for grains is on your KCPO dashboard. There are 480 grains in one troy ounce of gold. All TPC members should become experts in grains of gold. I wish we could access that calculator. This is the poster which I touched on. It's a new poster. Ours is to adjust ourselves into this. TPC kringles are not backed by gold, and that means we are not pegged to gold either. The value of our TPC kringles comes from our members, and we measure that value in grains of gold. We do not want to be sloppy in making this clear when we are inviting others to join us in our private community. This is a serious matter, and we want to be at peace with all governments and their respective regulators all around the world. We don't interfere with the public, so they should not interfere with us in private. Admin asks for your full cooperation and thanks you in advance for it. This is the message that comes from the admin. It's very clear to all of us. Ours is to change our mentality. Ours is to adjust ourselves into new terms in the billion coin community so that we shouldn't confuse anybody, even the governments. The general public must be informed that we are a private, centralized cryptocurrency. We are not attached to any open market system. And if we explain we explain ourselves clearly, it's going to help us to move forward, and it's going to avoid a lot of hiccups, a lot of burdens, because we need to work towards attaining 1 billion membership in the Billion Coin community. So this is very much important. This is a very important call that comes from the admin. All members, new and old, we need to read the blog religiously and understand what we have to pronounce out in public, because we should also pronounce things according to the system, according to the terms and the norms of the Billion admin. This is what I wanted to share with you, my dear friends, this evening, because as broadcasters, our main issue, our main mission is to share the truth as it is from the blog. Now, if time allows me, let me also check some of the items before time elapses. My dear friends, my dear colleagues, let me just check one of the items before time allows me. If time allows me, then I'll be able to cross over to some of the things. I really encourage the habit of reading, the habit of researching information from the blog. Always. If you can check from this one, listen, and you will sign up hundreds of people. This is a video of which you can access it at your own comfort. This is Mr. Stephen Kefi, one of our influential leader in the Billion Coin economy. Let's go further and peruse 2 or more articles. The SWSW, this one I covered it this morning. I don't want to go to it to go into it again. This is also the one activity that leads to meeting all of your short-term needs. It's a video. You have time as a member of the Billion Coin to access the information. Mr. Randy Wilson is giving us also substantive information concerning the Billion Coin. The robots revolution needs to be balanced with an abundance-based economy for humans. It's another video, a great one. Great words of wisdom that will empower you and protect you is a video. You must watch it. Let me click there on at number 2. 5-day system results in 2, 4, 8, and 16 and 32 video. These are all videos for us. This concerns the send button meetings. I've covered the issue of send button meetings quite a lot in my broadcast. I always touch on this. Now, because the admin is also looking forward to include 20 languages, 20 languages. We are going to have the Greek coming in, the Jamaicans coming in, the Russian send button is coming in, the German Russian send button is coming in, the Greek is coming in, the Korean is coming in, Chinese are coming in. So as we are going to have more send button meetings, this simply means we shall be spreading the message about the Billion Coin. It is very much important for us to spread and have as many send button meetings throughout the communities of the world, because our coin is attached to membership growth. That is one way, one clever way of campaigning for mass adoption. This is very much important, especially to us, members who are working day in and out in order to drive the massive growth of the Billion Coin. The other issue, my ladies and gentlemen, I would love to also remind new members and old members that they need to follow up. Let us make follow-ups on our page I mean to say on our unpaid referrals, we have got people who are members of the Billion Coin who are not yet paid up. It is very much important for us to follow up, especially as leaders, as team leaders. Let us follow up on our referrals. Some of the people joined our community, they remained unpaid up until now. And it doesn't make sense to have people in the economy and yet they remain unpaid. Let us have that kindness, that compassion. Let us bring them back and allow them and encourage them to pay the $10 admin fee so that they can be fully plugged into the system. They can as well partake into these ongoing promotions and for them to be able to accumulate wealthy in the billion coin economy. This is my kind request. I really emphasize all of us. Let us look after our teams. We need those people who are still unpaid to be fully informed about the billion coin. Because if someone is not a paid member, he or she won't partake, he or she won't participate in the activities of the billion coin. So it is very much important, ladies and gentlemen, for us to play, to take our role. We need to know our role, each one of us, particularly as team leaders. And the other last reminder that I want to make is the issue of the 24-hour and the 48-hour cookie repeat rewards. There are people who are still coming to join us before the November ends. Let us prepare for them. Let us help them in order for them to be able to join and be in a position to accumulate these cookie rewards. We are in the redemption period. Let us have a last attempt in terms of massive growth campaigns and in terms of getting people to join us in numbers, because as we know, our coin is a coin of that is attached to mankind. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my contribution this evening. I want to thank each one of you who managed to attend into this particular presentation, and I hope it is going to aid or going to help clear certain half-truths out there, because there are people who are sending out wrong information to individuals. So if you need to get good information, my advice is to follow us as broadcasters. Go into your kringle cashback office, get connected to people with the right information. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to thank you. I love to salute all the leaders out there, all the members who are working tirelessly every day. May God keep all of you in safe hands till we meet again in the next episode. I thank you. Bye. Till we meet.